we distance ourselves so much from these people. We try not to look at them because we're just like, oh man, like if I look at this guy, he's gonna ask me for money and I'm gonna like say no and it's gonna make me really feel bad. Ever since kind of coming to college and really getting outside of Southern Oregon where I grew up, I've always felt a need to connect with people of like lesser circumstance than me. People that are homeless and of low income have so much value. They have so much rich experience that I think as, you know, middle class, like upper middle class, like Americans, that we really take for granted. And I really just wanted to go out and just make a film that shows like the value that these people have.
Eventually, I shifted in my mind, totally shifted to the place.
I'm a writer and an artist. Right now I'm writing a book about when I was a child raised on a farm.
The Susan B. Komen Foundation sponsored me to go to a conference at the Oregon Convention Center on breast cancer issues, and I'm a breast cancer survivor.
Oh.
I look at it, I see way too much violence in my life, you know? And I went through that tread, and I fought my way through it. I wasn't going to beat around the bush. I made myself go through it. And there's times, you know, that sometimes I say to myself, you know, what a life this is, you know. If I was drinking right now, I would probably be dead. Because if it wasn't for the Department of Corrections, they're the ones that kept me alive. I injured my body inside physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually. Did it take me 40 years to realize that, hey, what did I do to myself and what did I do with the community out here? I like to try and make people laugh. You know, it's good for the heart. You know, wherever I go, I try and, you know, and if I see somebody down and out really bad in the morning, if they're really, you know, if they're hungover, I'll give them $1 or $2 to go get themselves a drink, you know, but that's it. That's it. I don't want them to count on it. Or sometimes if someone's a drug addict, and if it's really bad off, I'll just give them the money. I say, hey, go get what you need, because, you know, I don't want to see them be stepping in the doorway and dying.
Exactly.
What I've been saying is you can't end homelessness.
Can't end homelessness.
It's not a cure. There are people that have been out here for 30, 40 years. Their choice. They don't go sleep at the missions. They've got their camps. They don't want to live inside. You know, we had the troubadours. They were homeless. The knights were homeless. Cowboys were homeless. You know, you can't do it. I don't care how much Sam Adams thinks you can.
I did no joke about it's a matter of life and death, and you know, some people that are finding themselves homeless, and that could be anybody. I mean, everybody's sort of just one paycheck or one crisis away from being out on the streets. If you don't have the know-how and the, you know, sleeping bags and, you know, understand where's a good place to go and who you're safe with and stuff, it's positively frightening.
Now there is some people that like being on the street. You know, they don't want to go inside. But how many of them need to go in? That's got families and, you know, pushing their baby carriages. Those kids don't want to be out in the cold. I crochet. I've made it several hats. And I just give them to the kids out. Yeah, because they don't even have a decent warm clothes or hats. You gotta have a hat when it's cold.
Yeah, absolutely no respect. And I mean, to the point where in downtown Vancouver, the only business that I'm aware of, and I'm very aware of the local businesses. I used to be a downtown Vancouver business person. There's only one establishment, and that's the Starbucks across from Master Short Park, that will let people come in and hang out and use the bathroom and wash their hands with hot water. It's the only place. Unless you have money to go into a restaurant or money to go into a bar. And most people don't have the money, and a lot of them don't have any business being in a bar. They're trying not to be in bars. It's so hard to even think about getting a job if you can't figure out how you're going to get a shower and be presentable and to work on time. You know, and the church groups and lots of people are really dedicated to helping. It's just that the need is so high, and like I said, the resources, detox, the ERs, the few shelters that we have in Vancouver, I mean, they're just stressed to the max.
These missions and stuff, as far as I'm concerned, they got millions and millions in donations, and they feed us pig slop. So it's like I hardly ever eat at the missions. I'll go to McDonald's and get a couple burgers or something. The missions, I don't know. You go there, try to get a backpack or a blanket, and you can't even get that. And the whole basement is full of that kind of stuff. So what are they really doing with all that? And they get all these donations for their thrift stores. But a homeless man goes in a thrift store, and they're trying to charge you $15 for a sleeping bag that's used. Like my alcohol addiction started way back when I was young, and all through my military career I had problems with alcohol, and I've been clean off of alcohol altogether almost 8 years. But I had a real bad meth, and I've only been clean and sober off of meth maybe 4 months now.
Oh, wow.
To do your time and stuff, a lot of people turn to drugs because you're out here wandering around in the rain and everything else, and people come up, other homeless people come up and they offer it to you just because they all look out for each other.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs and I don't drink. It was my choice from the beginning, and a lot of people understand that. But I see what they go through, and it hurts because I can't help it.
Do you find that? Would you say that addiction is probably like a main cause of like why they can't like progress like further and like why you can't be?
Yeah, because they're spending all their money on the drugs. And they know not to come to ask me because I won't give it to them. I won't even let them use my lighter for lighting up because I don't do drugs. I've had 2 family members die because of them. I've watched them go downhill, and they had all the potential in the world. Don't like them.
People show up and they ain't got blankets and stuff. Everybody helps out. We make sure people are warm, and I'll carry extra food around for people that ain't been able to make it into food buying, or I'll use my food stamps and buying stuff. So we all just look out for each other because you can't expect the other people to. The other people ain't gonna.
I remember one time we were walking down the street and we passed this homeless guy, and I was just like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going?" And he started walking past me. He turned around and he looked at me and he says, "Am I crazy?" And I was kind of laughing. I was like, "No, why? Like, why would you think you're crazy?" And he's like, "Well, because I swear you must have been talking to me right back there, because I must be crazy, because no one talks to me." Imagine that you're in the city and that you're homeless and like no one will talk to you. There's people all around you and people won't look at you, or if people do look at you, they won't say anything to you. I think that would almost make someone go more crazy than if you were just, lost in the woods for like 4 or 5 years.